Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the newest piece of crap to come out of Square Enix PlayArt Skyline. This is the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Superman. If you guys saw my Batman review, you know that for the price point, it's way not good. Now, I know you can get them for less than the MSRP, but even if you're getting it for $100, they still have so many problems that I don't think they're worth getting, which is why, as I said in the last video, I am done with Square Enix once I get all of the figures I've already pre-ordered that I cannot cancel because I have no choice. They'd really have to do something special to get me to come back to them, because at this point, it's just no bueno, not good. And you'll see, this figure looks at some angles like it's a decent figure, but as we go through the review, I swear you will change your mind if you think it looks good so far. Let's get him off the stand then so I can do that, because I don't want you guys to waste your money on these lousy figures. This guy stands just about 9.5 inches tall, which makes him just about 24 centimeters. Of course, that will vary depending on how you have your joints aligned. Having the double hinge ball peg combination up there, ball peg down here, and all the hinges throughout the upright of the figure can vary, make those height measurements vary. So just be aware of that. That's a general estimate. And this guy does come with the standard Square Enix PlayArt Sky display stand, which we all think are garbage, and I don't know why they do that, but it does. It's inside the packaging. And he comes with a few accessories, the first of which is an interchangeable head, so let's look at this head first. This is supposed to look like Henry Cavill, and it does not. It's not an impressive head sculpt by any means. I mean, it's okay if you're going for a generic Superman, I guess, like a weird pointy-chin Superman, but this guy doesn't look like Henry Cavill at all. It looks a little bit better than the last one they made, but that's not saying much. So we have this one, which I guess it's passable. Okay, you could get past it if you really wanted to. I still think it's pretty lousy, especially the way the ears are really big and whatever, it doesn't look good. Next head is this one, which looks like he's possessed. Doesn't look like he's using his fire beam eyes, laser beam eyes, heat vision, what have you. It looks like he's using heat vision and is possessed by a demon. It looks really bad. Like, really bad. I'm upset. I'm looking at it right now. It's so bad. I'm not pleased. That's bad. Plus, doesn't he brush his teeth? What's up with that? So this is tobacco chewing Superman, where his teeth are covered in brown gunk. Then we have some interchangeable hands. So we have the fist hands that you would expect to see in any Superman figure. That's fine. No big deal there. Nothing new to see. Then we have these hands. So we have one that's like a general kind of gripping-ish hand, and then one that's a generic style pose hand. And we have the same thing for the other side. And that's it. That's it. So, not much in the way of accessories, and the one interchangeable head we have looks like butt. So far, not impressed. Not impressed at all. I will say, I think they did a decent job with the look of the muscles, and we'll get into the problems of this anatomy in a minute. It's really a problem of articulation. I do kind of like the sculpting here for the most part, because he was particularly bulky, and they kind of captured that. So I do like it. And then they did a nice job with these kind of things. The suit details, again, looks pretty good. The S looks pretty good. The entire thing is covered with that weave pattern. So, again, that looks pretty good. We do have a lot of problems, though, and we're going to get into those as we go through the articulation. The first of which I want to talk about kind of is not really articulation, but it's the cape. You see the way that's tucked in? It's tucked in the middle, and then we have this outer piece that is just a loose piece to allow for the shoulder to move. That's a terrible design. That's like the first thing you're going to notice is that the cape looks torn right on the front. That's not good. Not a good design choice at all. Next thing you're going to notice is that his neck is really long. Or his traps are too short, which make his neck look really long, because it's just not right. Something in that region is not regioned. There's no D in region. Something in that area is just not right. It's a problem. If you leave the arms down, kind of like with Batman, the shoulder to pec area, it doesn't look bad, but as soon as you move the shoulders, if you can get it to even move, mine's not going to ratchet very well. The anatomy is really weird there. The way the shoulders are just so high up is just very strange. So it's not great. I think he is a little bit better than Batman. Did I say Superman a second ago? I might be losing my mind. Anyway, let's move on. The cape has this block of plastic, again, where the pegs go straight into it, so you can't even bring the cape out to the side out of the package. You have to really play with it in order to rotate those around, which is a really dumb design. You should be pegging those ball hinges into the torso, not into a block of plastic. It's just a really, really lazy, bad design, and it doesn't really work well. Plus, the cape, again, there's almost no overlap. So when you separate the cape, you can't really do that. You can't make it go much wider than it is normally. It's just not a good design. Again, for the price point, they're not putting much effort into this design. We have a double ball peg for the head, a double ball peg for the neck, so you can move it around pretty well. That's okay. The shoulder, you kind of already saw. We have that ball hinge that pegs into the torso that lets it rotate this way, and then the hinge, and then the bicep swivel, and then the shoulder can also swivel. So it's a weird kind of compound joint, and none of it really works that well. You can't bring it around all that great. It's just not good. It's not good. It could have been much more basic and worked much better. We have a single joint for the elbow, ball hinge again. That works okay. Same thing for the wrist, and that works okay. They did do kind of a good job of hiding those. The plastic's the right color for the most part, and the sculpt hides the joints pretty well. I will say, though, that the anatomy is atrocious. That is not what a tricep looks like. The tricep and bicep area, definitely not accurate at all. We have that hinge in the upper torso that goes to a ball peg in the lower torso, but the hinge is kind of useless, so you just have the ball peg. Luckily, the ball peg itself works really well. We have another ball peg from the lower torso down to the crotch, which does work really well. They did do a pretty good job with that. The floating crotch piece is a really snug one, so that's good. We don't have the diaper effect. However, the way it's designed, the hips always come out and kind of get mushed, or they kind of mush the floating crotch piece, which is not a good idea, but you can kind of hide that. So not bad. You can see he really doesn't have that diaper effect, and I do appreciate that. Proportions still make the legs look pretty big, though, especially these really thick thighs. We have the ratcheting ball hinges. They go all the way out to the side, and they can go fairly far forward, so that's not bad. It's all right. We have the cut joint. Why are they employing this cut joint all of a sudden? That's a step backwards. That's so ugly to have this cut joint in here. You already have a decent amount of rotation in the thigh. They could have just worked on augmenting that rather than adding this terribly ugly cut joint. Swivel, I don't like it. We do have the double jointed knees. His knees are some of the better knees we've seen from PlayArt's Kai. They're still not great, though. I don't know why they can't figure it out, but they don't seem to be able to figure it out. And then for the ankles, they did a decent job with the ball hinge. So that's pretty good. You can get your ankle rocker out of it. And then you have a toe hinge. So not bad. They did make the boots curl up a little bit, but not anywhere near as Batman. So, final thoughts on this guy. Lots of problems given the price point. If this guy was a much cheaper figure, I would be recommending it for sure. He's definitely better than Batman. However, there's still just so many issues, namely the head. That's really bad. The cape's really bad. The alternate head's even worse. Just a lot of problems. You're going to really have to want this figure and not care about spending money in order to be happy with this purchase, which I don't think many people are going to be. So I can't recommend it. It's definitely better than some, and I mean, it's better than a lot of their older figures, but given the price hike, it's not enough better. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Alright guys, I'm going to call it there. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos every day. We talk about action figures, custom action figures, movie, TV, video games, all that kind of fun stuff. Check out my playlists. Click that subscribe button. And in the meantime, keep collecting.